Hey girls, how's it going? I hope your day is going amazing. I'm so happy that you're here to hang out for a little bit. ALR has been posting to her stories and probably lying and just being a weirdo, and I'm excited to talk about it.
Start time.
All right, first of all, thank you so much for being here. As you know, I like a brand new channel, and I'm honestly so amazed by the attention that I've been getting. I literally cannot believe that anyone is interested in listening to anything I have to say, and I am just so thankful that all of you are here. So thank you so much for being here. Today, we're going to talk about ALR and how she is, for some reason, not reapplying for monetization when the other girls have been getting their monetization back. And so I think there might be something else going on. I think there might be some more to it. So let's get into it. So in case you haven't heard, the girls have been busy getting their monetization back. That is right, both Foodie and Quirky Love Rosie have gotten their elusive monetization back, and let me tell you, they are both pretty excited about this information.
We're so back. Now, I do have my plaque back. um, how are we gonna celebrate? Right, well, you're looking at it.
Now the question becomes, when is ALR going to come back? She's answered it in her Instagram stories, but I don't know if I think I really believe her. She's going to say it's because Keem has been keeping her way too busy, but I think there has to be something else going on here.
Amber says she'll be back soon, and that she's just been busy with other avenues. But in another answer, Amber also says she hasn't reapplied for YouTube monetization yet, and again, it's because she's been so busy.
Now, it seems like Keem did have ALR sign something like a non-compete saying that she was not allowed to go stream on her own channel.
Gidgey wanting to quit.
Well,
Let's talk about it.
Why doesn't she quit?
Apparently Keem said she cannot get out of her contract.
Okay. I guarantee you, I've seen these contracts. I don't even know if she has a contract. Sure, she can.
Was.
Wait, you didn't sign the contract?
I don't have a contract. What? Did you pass away?
Keem, forced me to sign it. No, the manipulation that he did.
Well, that's a you
He
problem.
was like, Amberlynn, sign it, so I could, if no one signs it, I can be like, well, Amberlynn did.
Okay, well.
Oh, I'm pissed.
Well, I mean, the
only
only thing I signed, which wasn't like a word, it was a contract that said something like, I can't steal people from the LCU for like 2 years or 2 months. I'm like, yeah, okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
That was it.
Okay, we signed the same
The
thing
one
then.
that
But that's not. That doesn't mean you can't quit.
No,
Yeah,
she wants
her
to be
problem
able
is
to.
she wants to quit, but she wants to also start streaming immediately.
Well, I didn't
Yeah.
sign anything like that, but I was already streaming beforehand. So I just signed. I just signed.
No.
I don't think she had, because she said today she only has like 300 subs, and that's exactly what Keem doesn't want to happen, is someone to get popularity over here and then go to their own channel. And
Yeah. I get.
But
I
was
get. I get
popular
the.
before the LCU.
That's right, and that's why I would have never signed what you signed, because I'm not going to give up my own. But I understand non-compete clauses, but they're not for everyone. So anyway.
Cool.
But that's not Keem's fault, buddy. That's your fault. No offense.
No, I'm just gonna break the contract then.
Well, okay,
if
but
it ever comes push to shove.
right there may be. But you've streamed on your own, haven't you? You go stream on your own still. Keem doesn't seem to care.
No, I don't.
I've seen you do your own streams on your channel.
Yeah, that was.
that was
I went live, and then 2 days later, this contract was made.
Oh, I see. I see.
well. Also,
But I was
everyone else-
famous.
it was
I
made
was a
because-
celebrity, and I was known before all of this. So I should get to rip up that contract, point blank period. That is actually no. I need to talk
Just
to
because
Keem.
you rip it up doesn't mean it voids the contract.
No, I'm gonna sign a new one that's null and void for the last one.
You've already signed it.
Yeah, you can
But
only.
we can do a new one.
Yeah, but if he wants that, you would have to say, if you value me enough, I'm going to leave if you don't sign a new contract. And then he might. He might. I would if I were you. Look at your show. Forget me being
So
here, but you guys usually make a lot of money.
Even Steak goes live on his channel. I peeped it the other day.
But he has a big following.
No, he doesn't.
Most people.
Doesn't he have a YouTube plaque?
That doesn't mean he has a huge following. No, I'm actually fucking pissed right now. Keem, get the fuck up here. You told me to be good today. Sorry, not happening.
But I don't think that this should be a big problem because Amber definitely had her own lawyer go look at this.
Honey, I got the money. I got the time. I got the lawyer.
Of course not. Why would Amber have made a choice that was good for her? Because the thing is, I can't really blame Keem for this. He's a businessman, and at the end of the day, it would seem that it's really beneficial for him to not have his lil cows streaming on their own channels, and that extends to Amber herself.
Pretty happy yesterday because like even Amber signed it, and it's like she didn't have to, but she did. So
I love that.
All the contract really says is like you can't do the Becky bullshit where you like copy our business model, and then you can't do the Rastov scooter thing where you go and just use this to launch a solo career.
Right.
Like there's a cool down period of 60 days. I had to take care of like, you know, Queens and then Live and then of course Bus. So, and everybody on Queens, Live, and Bus have signed the contract. So
I've signed plenty of non-competes and stuff like that. And, you know, your boss asks you to do something. Unless you have something to hide, why not just do it?
Anyway, we know Amber is upset that she is not able to live stream on her own channel.
Suing will entice. Will happen. Absolutely.
But she's still able to record vlogs and make other content, which is great because we know that she loves vlogging. She says it's her favorite thing and she loves vlogging. So that shouldn't really be a big issue.
Get a different job. Like, should I stop YouTube as a job? I mean, I'll always do YouTube, but definitely won't upload as often if it's not a job. I think that goes for a lot of YouTubers out there, but personally, I would never stop uploading because I love the connection between me and my supporters so freaking. Plus, I just love the act of filming. Like, I love filming, I love editing, like the whole act of it is just so fun to me.
So anyway, we know that Quirky Love Rosie and Foodie have been remonetized. So theoretically, Amber Lynn could go do that, right? She apparently loves vlogging, so why not do this? According to many, it's not a lot to do.
And basically the way that YouTube works, right, is to get monetized or remonetized on a channel, you have to have a specific amount of content, a specific amount of watch hours to be able to get remonetized, right? Recently, I got monetized on a book channel that I have, and that channel is not big. So it doesn't really require that much effort and time. And like, I don't have, you know, I'm not getting hundreds of thousands of views on those videos. I'm not even close.
And we know Amber has been a long time low effort girly, but is she really low effort enough to not go and click a few buttons to get remonetized? And we know that Keem's contract doesn't really have anything to do with this.
I have no problem with you doing both, but I don't want you streaming over there. Make videos over there.
I know, I heard you. I will follow suit. Don't worry, boss.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Also, according to Amber, she loves vlogging and it's been an option this whole time. So what is really going on here? Why is she not doing this? Well, I have a couple of theories. Option 1, hear me out, she's actually addicted to the LCU. ALR is consuming herself with the LCU. We have seen her do it before. She has an obsessive personality. Think of the time that she sold earrings and she stopped sleeping, eating, doing anything normal because she was so obsessed with doing this one thing.
And I make sure they're packaged well. So it has taken all my time to do. And I have stopped filming. I have stopped talking to friends. That's like all I do is package.
And I would argue that Amber definitely has an obsessive personality trait. We can see a lot of those qualities reflected in her just every day, all the time. She definitely has an obsessive personality.
Ryan, could you tell me about an addictive personality?
Well, Katie, addictive personality is not a diagnosis. That's the first thing to know. It's more of a collection of characteristics that make some people more likely to become addicted. Having these traits does not mean someone will become an addict. The traits can include things like impulsivity, risk-taking, anxiety, and depression.
Okay, but the question becomes then, can you get addicted to something like social media? I'm going to say easy. According to lots of medical studies, the answer is 100% yes. Social media can act on the brain's reward system in the similar ways to like gambling or doing drugs, releases dopamine, and the constant cycle of like notifications, likes, everything, and the way that it's designed to maximize engagement pull users in as much as it does. These platforms can encourage like compulsive usage. Um, Social media can become addicting for the dopamine loop. Each moment, comment, share, like, view gives you a dopamine hit. Social media can also create AI algorithms that become this like personalized stream of content that can make it like endlessly entertaining, right? Social media also offers immediate access to those stimulation centers that fuel compulsive behavior. And unlike many other addictions, it doesn't have a stopping point, right? Gamblers will eventually run out of money. People can only drink so much alcohol, but a person can stay on social media for an endless amount of time. And I think the LCU is the perfect setup for Amber because of this. It has a solid number of people in it, people who know who she is, people who decided to follow her there. So it's really just like the people who enjoy her, actually, at this point, are choosing to engage further. It's also a relatively small world compared to the other YouTube landscape, maybe a few thousand people. And so it's possible for her to know and really get to interact with a large number of the people. But the LCU is big enough that there's always somebody doing something. So I think that this might be like the perfect setup for her to become actually addicted to this social media environment. Okay, so my theory here is essentially that Amber is addicted to the LCU. It is consuming her life and it is preventing her from doing basically anything else. So we know that it's preventing her from clicking these few little clicks, but also probably preventing her from doing other basic self-care tasks. I mean, like, that's pretty obvious. That's the thing that seems to go downhill for her pretty quickly, but she is so consumed with the LCU that she just doesn't even have the capacity to go in and click a handful of buttons. All right, the second thing that I think might be going on, imposter syndrome. Hear me out. Social media and like the addiction to that is probably a part of it, but I don't think it's the only possibility. People can sometimes sabotage their own success for many reasons. Many people have heard of imposter syndrome. It's like the fear of being exposed for not deserving your accomplishments. And in many ways, I think Amber might have become famous as like sort of a fluke. Her content has always been very low effort and uninteresting, basically just her wandering around whatever small town she lives in. And there's nothing like wrong with that. You know what I mean? Lots of people have boring content, but that's really all it was. And again, if we compare her to other vloggers, I've talked about this before, but somebody like David Dobrik, who goes out of his way to create, I mean, he doesn't make vlogs anymore, I don't think, but to create these like super exciting and thrilling vlogs, her life has consistently been very boring. And it really was like a shot in the dark, like a 1 in a million chance that she was the one that became as popular as she did. So, that being said, is it possible that she's looking at this and saying, oh my gosh, I can't believe that I even became as popular as I did in the first place? If I come back and I'm vlogging, how long is that going to last? Like, certainly people will come back, but what if they're only there for the first vlog or two? What if I have a huge hit to my views? That would be a gigantic bruise to Amber's ego. And I think the thought of that even happening is probably terrifying. All right, last possibility of things that I think could be going on here. We've thought about like social media addiction, just being addicted to the LCU, imposter syndrome, but I think that there is one other reason that could be preventing her from going back. When you think about how there must be so much less, there's such a diffusion of the pressure that must exist for her when she's in the LCU. When it's her own channel, ALR is really the star of the show. You know, she's the actor, she's the director, but she's also like the creative director. She's the accountant. She's doing it all, right? And honestly, I get it. Like, most people choose to work for an established business or organization rather than being self-employed. And there is a lot more security in that. Even if it's like a false sense of security, there is certainly a lot more security, I think, in working with a collective of other people rather than it just always being, you know, you're the star of the show. And I think that like the possibility of failure is probably not as omnipresent for her. She's likely worried that she could be demonetized again and lose her stream of income without notice, whereas like the LCU feels a lot more established and secure. Even if that's like a false sense of security, I can understand where she would be coming from on this. So what do I think it is in this situation? I think honestly, it's probably a combination of the three, and that kind of makes sense for ALR because we can see that she is obsessed with the LCU. She's unable to pull herself away and focus on anything else. There is likely an element of the imposter syndrome at play, and she's been away for a relatively long time. I think the first thing that she posted was taken down. I can understand why she would be feeling a sense of imposter syndrome. Finally, the loss of her monetization was likely a very real trauma, and I think that that would make her anxious about being on her own. There's probably a large amount of fear that it could be lost again at any moment, and so I think it really is the combination of all of those three things together that are preventing her from even applying for the monetization again. All right, so where does this leave us? How do we move forward? There's a lot of things that I could probably say to Amber about how she could take steps to move forward, because I do think reapplying for monetization is probably the best option for her. I think first she needs to think about limiting her time. I think she is getting into things like the VC constantly, you know, because of work, because she's working. But Amber doesn't have a lot of work experience. She doesn't maybe know that most jobs, unless you're like working on an oil rig or something, most jobs are not 24/7. You're not like a longshoreman or like on a lighthouse post or something. You do not need to put your every single waking moment into really any job. And I think if Keem is asking this of her, she needs to work on setting some of those famous boundaries that she loves so much. But like seriously, ALR does not have a lot of work experience, and this is likely an underdeveloped skill for her. And so I think she would need to learn how to set those boundaries if it is a true requirement of her. And if it isn't, she just needs to work on having some self-control, which I don't know.
Here's what boundary setting at work sounds like.
Hey Erin, emergency ask. Can you prepare this deck and send it to me tonight for a meeting tomorrow afternoon? I had my workday at 5 p.m., but I'm happy to get that to you first thing in the morning.
Second, she really needs to work on the imposter syndrome. I know that this is easier said than done, but there are some strategies that you can take that can help you maybe feel slightly less like you are an imposter.
These. Number one is to remember to support whatever it is that you are doing or saying with data and stories. Number two, use imposter syndrome as motivation, because oftentimes what it might mean is that you are focusing more on your interpersonal skills. Advice for you is remember to practice that positive self-talk.
Finally, Keem said she can still vlog on her channel, even if she doesn't get anything changed with the contract, which who knows, she signed it, so I don't know what to tell you. But I think she could easily continue to work with the LCU and continue vlogging. I think those vlogs would likely still be boring, like they kind of always have been, so it would be like nothing new, I guess. Like if she has her hug box at the LCU, those people will still come over and watch her boring vlogs, so you know, whatever. I think she really should work on establishing a second stream of income in addition to the LCU. I know it's stressful to have two jobs, but just like the YouTube monetization could go away at any time, so could the LCU, Amber. You could get fired at any moment. Anyway, will she do it? Will she seek remonetization? I don't know. I've seen her make a lot of really bad choices, so it's hard to say. I've seen her make so many choices that are not in her best interest for truly years. I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Dude, I made this entire video about how she could like make successful choices, and I don't know what I'm thinking. Why would I have done this? She's a terrible person. Why am I giving her advice? Whatever. All right, if you made it this far, thank you so much for being here. I had 70 subscribers, which is seriously like a milestone that feels so exciting. I think I'm going to hit 100 subscribers, y'all. It's very exciting. I really appreciate you being here. Thank you again. If you liked this video, please consider subscribing, liking the video, doing all the things. If you want to comment, let's do a $sign or a money emoji for Amber's lost monetization or a demon for her demonization. I am so excited. I have so many things, so many ideas of things to talk about, and I just really appreciate anyone who came to hang out with me. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope you have a really wonderful rest of your day. See you next time. Bye.